Hey everybody, welcome back to Recall the Podcast. My name is Josh, and today we got Justus back here with us. Hey buddy.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
Is that your phone going off right now?
Probably is. Let me turn that down.
Oh man.
Anyway, yeah, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
Has been a while. A lot of things going on, unfortunately.
Yeah, we've got a whole list of things to talk about, but I'm glad you're here, man. I really am.
Me too. Definitely has been a minute. Like I said, a lot of things going on, man.
Yeah, well, I guess we should probably start it off with where you been, man?
I've been around. My mom unexpectedly, you know, that was definitely unexpected, her passing.
Yeah.
Everything else that's been going on.
Yeah. Yeah, only say what you're comfortable with saying, but I feel like we do owe it a little bit to our fans to maybe talk a little bit.
Some of the legal stuff that's been going on, I'm trying to take care of.
Right.
Just trying to move forward past it, get my life
right
back to where it's supposed to be, State of Delaware, man.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. That's all I can say.
Well, we have discussed on the podcast before, so some of the followers of us already know that you have spent a little bit of time, locked away for a little while.
Yeah.
And I did kind of maybe want to talk about a little bit of its impact on you and your life and all that.
Yeah, it's definitely, like I said, the state of Delaware is funny, man. For somebody who's trying to move forward and trying to better themselves, and it seems like they just hold it on you. Some of the petty stuff that, I'm on probation and I was violated for.
Right.
To me, it was petty, something that I shouldn't have been locked away for.
Right.
I can understand if I'm out there committing crimes and doing stupid stuff, but it wasn't like that.
Right.
It really wasn't like that. So yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to walk that line.
Be a good boy,
man. Move forward. Like, I get up, I go to work every day.
Right.
I have my passion, my love, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Music. So yeah, just trying to move forward, man. That's all.
Yeah.
Like I said, and my mom passing while I was locked up was kind of hard.
While you're here, I do have some stuff from the funeral.
Oh yeah,
I've been meaning to give you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it's been so long. I completely blocked it out, I guess, or something. But I did go to your mom's funeral. It was very, very nice ceremony.
Yeah.
And actually, the guy who married me and my wife was the pastor that was there talking about your mom.
You did tell me that.
Yeah, so that was really cool. It felt very familiar, I was comfortable. And they did a very, very nice speech and sermon and all that, too.
I did get to go. I was there before everybody else.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Shackled, unfortunately, but I did go. I heard it was a big turnout, though.
It was. It really was. There were a lot of people there. A lot of very, very sad people.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Like I said, it was unexpected. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Just never would have thought. 62, man. She was.
Yeah, that's
in my eyes, she was still young.
Yeah.
But I guess it was her time.
Yeah. So, well,
that stuff happens.
I know it's been a while, but you do have my condolences.
Yeah.
And we have a mutual friend named Ray, and he wanted to also share his condolences to you as well. And he and I stayed in contact and talked quite a bit.
Right.
And he had very fond memories of your mom too. So
yeah, you both knew her.
We all
both knew her.
We knew her through working with her at Walmart together.
Right.
Like she taught us how to do our jobs and then introduced us to you.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy how it all started out there, man.
Right.
It was all because of her, really.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's really what it kind of boiled down to with me and Ray is that, like, man, without this lady,
Yeah.
none of this would have happened.
Yeah.
You know? So she knew what buttons to push to get people where they needed to be.
Yeah.
And like that, you know, like it.
That was her.
It's become my whole life, and I'm always forever grateful for that.
And you know what's crazy is, you know, I had started a new job, so sometimes I go out to my job foreman's house. Mm-hmm. So you know where he lives?
Don't say it in public.
Well, the old garage.
Oh, okay.
He's right down the road from there.
All right,
so
there you
I
go.
drive by there all the time, and I look at your old house. You know what I mean? But yeah, the garage is still there.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I used to. Well, last year we were hunting across the street from it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we knew the guy that owned that property.
Yeah.
and my dad and I would hunt over there.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah, we stayed kind of close to it. Would I go back there? Probably not.
No.
No,
I mean, there's a lot of good memories there.
Yeah, they got chicken houses and stuff out back there now and stuff. It's not the same place that I used to live at. You know what I mean?
But I drive by there, a lot of fond memories.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people do. Yeah, I hear that a lot.
I talked about the day we were practicing, and actually that was when Ray was the drummer, and
yep.
the big snake come down from the rafters.
I remember we all booked it.
Yeah,
I remember
still jamming.
Yeah, he didn't know, and look, honestly, he was the most terrified of snakes.
Yeah.
And we just didn't tell him. We just left. We just walked away, ran away. I ran away, and I left poor Ray to just deal with that.
I just
snake.
heard every instrument start dying out, and I look around, and there it is, hanging there. That was not your normal snake either.
No, well, I mean, I guess it was normal for that area of Delaware, but it was big.
That was a big snake. Yeah.
A question I get quite frequently about us, you know, and since, you know, we have our kind of like things going on and you've got your own thing kind of being taken care of, is one, are you still a part of the band? Which I'm going to answer that now. Yes. Justus is a part of the band, and currently, as I understand it, and as we've kind of talked about, is that you're going to just kind of like take a small break to take care of yourself.
Yeah, kind of a little hiatus, I guess. You know, I definitely want to get through this.
Right.
Not trying to go backwards is the main thing.
Right, definitely. That's the important thing, is that you take care of yourself. We've had conversations like this.
And it seemed like every time before I try to rush at everything, you know, between family, work, music, just trying to tackle it all at one time, and trying to do something different now, and hopefully this works.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Yeah. I just wanted the audience to know that, like, there's no ill will against each other.
Yeah,
like, you and I, he is my best friend. Like, I consider him
my brother,
a brother. So, I mean, it's just right now, he is taking a small break. We're going to do things like this, you know, and keep you active and energized and stuff like that, you know, but right now, you know, we're going to slow down just so that you can take care of yourself, because that is the most important thing we can do for you,
you know,
right now.
I definitely want to start working on new material, and
we still got to finish up Tragedy.
That's
a good, it is a good song. I think it deserves to be finished.
Yep. Plus some of the new stuff, you know, that I've heard you working on, and I want to be a part of that too, and you know,
absolutely.
Just take it slow.
Yeah.
Just take it slow. That's all I can do, man.
One of the other questions, the second most common question is Justus okay with what I'm doing? Yeah, like, do you believe I am representing you fairly and the band fairly by doing the things I'm doing?
I mean, I don't expect anybody to stop because of what I'm doing too. You know what I mean? And I mean, I love the music I'm hearing, and cool. I think it's, you know, definitely keep doing what you're doing, man. You know,
because I don't want to do anything that would make you look some type of way either. You know what I mean? I have been honest with you guys. I've told you the situations and stuff, at least what I could talk about, and you know, I kept private matters private, but you know, recall the review is a thing now. You know, and you know, I want you to be a part of that. Recall the podcast has kind of exploded off to a little bit more.
It seems like
than just us. You know what I mean? Like people are talking about it. I actually had a guy say on Facebook, and I thank you for this. I don't believe it all that much, but thank you. that I'm Delaware's Joe Rogan now.
That's not a bad title, I guess.
It's not a bad title. I just don't think, I mean, like, we've got 150 subscribers, dude.
Right,
you know, like, we're not, you know, we're talking to, I'm just talking to people. That's all I'm doing right now.
But, I mean,
Thank
you know,
I appreciate it.
You're helping a lot of bands out and getting them seen. I mean.
In ways they wouldn't otherwise have seen.
Yeah.
know? So I do feel like I am doing a little bit for it.
Which, you know, I thought the Delaware scene had kind of died out completely.
That's been the consensus of everybody.
But there are still some bands out there, you know?
Yeah.
Some good bands. I mean, some of the music I've heard is, you know, really good. I mean,
one of the most impactful conversations we've had on the podcast so far is with Floodgates.
Right.
Eli and Ben from Floodgates. And they were wonderful people. But they did have a little bit of knowledge of like, they wanted to know my knowledge of the past scene. And they were kind of explaining to me what the new scene looks like.
Right.
And I feel like that was a very impactful conversation.
Yeah.
Of like a mix with the old and the new. You know, they had an understanding of like what kind of bands are out there now. What is the venue situation with bands? How do we get that improved? And that's what Eli's whole thing is, I believe, is even if it doesn't benefit us, our generation anymore, that he believes that like we're doing it so that the next generation can have something, you know, like we don't leave them with nothing.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important conversation to have with a lot of bands.
Yeah. And I've always thought music is like one of the best gifts you can give to somebody.
Absolutely.
You know? Just to help them out. I mean, some people don't even know they have talent until they do it.
Right.
So some people don't ever even do it, you know? I mean,
that's exactly right.
Whether it's playing an instrument or singing or whatever. I mean, so yeah, and the scene has definitely changed a lot.
Definitely.
You know?
And it's more up north.
You know, Seaford, that's one town I haven't been really through there in a long time.
Right.
Know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of got like rough.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
So that didn't help.
No. But Icons seemed like a pretty good.
Yeah, I do actually
pretty
have
good
that
spot.
As a mobile podcast. Let's talk about the mobile podcast. That was some of the best stuff I've ever done. I got to experience so much stuff, man, and I really missed you that night for sure. Maybe they didn't know me specifically, but the guy running it,
right?
He made me feel like I was complete royalty.
Yeah,
like he made, you know, the whole experience absolutely awesome. I had a lot of good time. His name is Dan McBride. And dude, like I walked in and he's like hugging me and he's like, hey man, like all the bands are ready for you. They can't wait to talk to you and stuff. Like, this is your area, you know, you just do your thing, man. Do your thing. And I'm like, all right, well, like I want you to be one of these interviews. If you know, look at all the stuff he did for us. You know what I mean? Like the least I can do is give an interview to this guy, and talk to him, and listen to his story. And he is a lot like Eli and us. Like we're just trying to bring the scene back.
Right. Yeah.
It was awesome though, man. Like, oh man, like the bands that played, they were really good. They were very polite and nice to me, and they let me record their sets and stuff like that. We had a camera guy come out with us, Chris Meeks. Thanks, Chris. Hey, buddy, I'll talk to you later. But he did a great job. I didn't really even have to like do this or do that or tell him what to do. He just like knew it, you know? And that was really like something I was looking for is like, I didn't want to have to babysit somebody.
Who knows her stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, he just grabbed cameras, like, I'm going to go do this. And I'm all right, go do it then, you know? Like, and that's means something.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we got to talk about that a little bit. It was a really good night. Really good night.
Yeah, I would definitely like to check out some of them bands too. I know a lot of the bands we used to play with. Like I'm looking at the picture over there.
Yeah.
Like they just don't even play anymore.
They don't.
Know?
Yeah. No. I can't think of one that still plays.
Even though we're under a different name now. But,
yeah, we're under a different name. But I mean, like honestly, like all the bands you and I have been in, that's been what it was. It was you and I. with other people.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, we were in Titan Aram, it was me, you, and your brother.
Yep.
We had This Hatred is Mutual. And This Hatred is Mutual kind of converged from Titan Aram. So it was like building onto Titan Aram and rather than starting something completely new. Right. So, I mean, like, it's always been us, man.
Yeah. Like, since what, 2003?
Yeah, that the flyer there says 2007, and we were already.
Titan Aram was already before that.
That's like, what I'm saying. Is like This Hatred is Mutual was 2007, so it would have to be like 2003, 2004,
something like that.
That we started working together in Titan Aram, and that's because of your mom.
Yeah.
You know, like I was working at the Walmart, and she's like, "Hey, I've got these sons that can play too. What, do you want to meet them?" You guys had showed up out of nowhere, and I'm like, "Yeah, let's do this." And I still stand by, I don't think your brother thought I was very serious. I think he thought that, like, it was just like, yeah, you know, like, he'll say he's going to show up and then he doesn't. But no, I did. Yeah. I was there.
Oh, definitely.
I was ready for it.
Every time.
So, we had a lot of good times. Have you spoken to him at all?
Not recently.
No.
I mean, just, you know, like some Facebook stuff. He just had a baby.
Oh, cool. So congrats.
He's a dad now, so.
Very cool.
Yeah. And even talking about like us recording back then, you know what I mean? Like it's changed so much.
Yeah, a lot of it's changed.
Yeah.
We were in Seaford and we were going to take care of some stuff and we had rode by the Seaford Music.
Yeah. I was in there not too long ago.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
And I was like, I remember the day that me and your ex had went in there to get my recorder.
To Seaford Music?
Yeah, the Boss recorder. That was how I did it. It was like you and I had kind of like pulled some money together, and she drove me up to Seaford Music to get that recorder so that I could start learning how to record the band. And like I just like so much nostalgia for that. I was like, dang, dude, I really remember doing all that.
Like I said, I haven't been through the town of Seaford, but thank God Seaford Music's right on the highway. I just kind of swung in there real quick. You know, back in the day, I actually put that carpet in there on that floor, too.
No way.
It's still there.
I didn't know that was you.
Yep.
Dude, that's so awesome.
That ugly-ass brown carpet. Yeah.
Well, since the last time you've been here, a little bit of changes in the Hobbit Hole. Yeah. What are your thoughts? Am I doing okay?
I like it.
Good.
I like the lighting. Yeah. Always said you had to get something on these walls, though.
Yeah. So I did. It's just padding, but I did. It does help for the soundproofing of the room. Like it's not like this is not a soundproof room by any measure of the word.
I heard the motorcycle earlier.
Yeah, but it does deaden the sound a little bit better for the microphones and talking and stuff like that.
Just the padding and the lights alone just made a difference, man.
Right. It does, especially for vocals. Yeah. Anything with a microphone, it does really help. For the most part, since we're using the DAW and stuff, everything's plugged into a interface.
And little mic booth works pretty good.
Yeah. I close off the curtain, and it helps get rid of some of the resonance in the sound.
Yeah.
Which makes it easier to work with later on. But yeah, I mean, I've been having a good time. I've gotten to work with a lot of decent bands, and
you're definitely doing your thing. I mean, I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Like I was saying, the recordings, man, they sound really good. I mean, so Tragedy, that's what I definitely want to work on.
I do too. I'd like to get it out. I think the order of operations is gonna typically, at least how it's been going, is we're gonna try to do 3 songs a year released. I'd like to do a video with each of those 3 songs.
Right.
And then in between, do the podcast once a month and record a review to fill in any other Mondays that aren't taken up by a podcast or a music or something like that, just to keep things moving on the channel.
Yeah.
And learning more about all these awesome bands. And the review channel, which is also on the list, is your opinions on Recall the Review, because you know, it's your first time kind of like experiencing that kind of stuff too now.
Yeah. It seems like it adds more than just
it does
a couple songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I believe in helping people out, other bands.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually some of the reactions, reviews, whatever you want to call them. have turned into podcasts.
Right.
Like the initial for Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, we had a podcast with them. And that started with me reacting to one of their songs.
Right.
And, you know, through that, I got to talk to them and contact them. And then they were like, yeah, man, like, I'm down to do a podcast if you're doing a podcast. And I'm like, yeah. So, I mean, it's like we're meeting people, talking, you know, and they're really great. Like, if you get a chance to check out their music, dude, they are going places.
But just being able to reach out to different people in different places, you know, I mean, Network. But yeah, there's a lot of good music out there, a lot of good musicians still coming up, you know what I mean? I saw some of the vocals on one of the tracks. I think it was Reboot. Hannah
Trowbridge, we met online, and she lives out of Florida, and she wanted to be able to work a song with Recall the Moment, and I was definitely down because I had been doing some of her mixes anyway.
Yeah.
I wanted her to do a main vocal on Project Reboot, but she couldn't find a way to Delaware.
Right.
So it was agreed upon that instead of going and trying to get her as a main, we'll go ahead and do her as backing vocals.
Right.
So that she's able to record in her own recording space and then send them to us to get mixed and mastered by Blackway Production. I think it turned out really good.
Yeah.
Ridicule's video, I'm really proud of.
Yeah.
It came out really well. I'm very happy with how that turned out. And it ended up in some of the blooper reels, too, that I've posted on some of the...
I did see some of the bloopers,
yeah. It was like dudes melting into the ground. Like, he did not do what we wanted it to do at all. And I was like, we'll save that because we're going to put that in some funny later. Redemption, I was behind in front of a green screen the entire time, and in this full-on murdered-out suit, yeah. And I felt so stupid the entire time doing that. So then Crystal's like, we could probably turn this into some funny stuff too. So we did do a couple of reels like that.
Yeah.
So I've gotten a few as a channel in general. A few people have complained about the templates that I use. It's like the picture small in some of the podcasts and stuff like that, which, okay, I heard you. We will get new templates at some point. Right now, I'm just going to keep using the ones I have because I like them and I want to keep them. But we'll probably change it, give or take January.
Yeah.
New year, new me type deal stuff. Maybe we change them up every year or something.
Yeah.
The reviews template, I'm pretty happy with. We're just going to keep that.
Right.
And some of the templates for the podcast I'll probably end up keeping, but we'll get a bigger main screen template for you guys. Don't worry. I heard you. I'll take care of it. Just not right now.
But yeah, definitely having, all the other channels and, I think it just adds so much more to it.
Yeah.
Gives you stuff to look at,
Definitely, yeah. And people are happy with like us keeping it as local as we can possibly keep it.
Yeah.
They respect the fact that, like, we're not outreaching to like big AAA bands or something. Like, we're focusing on the people that matter to
locals,
us.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, realistically, if I'm being completely honest, that means we're probably never going to blow up as a channel, but, like, we're impacting people's lives.
Yeah.
We're doing I feel like we're doing a service.
Yeah. And that's what I said. I believe in helping people and, just helping the scene out, man. Like,
exactly.
God, I remember, back in the day, the anti-prom and just...
Yeah, we don't talk about anti-prom. It's been a running joke. It's been in like 5 different episodes where somebody brings up Anaprom, and I always just say, we don't talk about Anaprom.
Just, you know what else I drove by was a CNR center.
Oh, okay.
I was out that way.
There you go.
That's another memory.
Man, I remember that. Yeah.
CNR Center, yeah.
I had that big old van, and we would all get in there and play video games while we waited on the show to start.
But, just, God, I remember I used to have all the videos of us playing live till my camera got stolen.
Yeah.
That's a bummer,
Yeah, that is a bummer, because I'd like to see some of those photos now.
Yeah. Pictures,
I've only got
photos.
a small handful of
Me
that.
too, anymore. I still have the black and whites we took.
I've got one. The group photo. That's the only one I have. Yeah.
I have a whole photo album of them.
Well, look at you.
I had to bring them by.
Way to brag. You know?
I had to bring them by. But yeah, just I've been running into a lot of spots that we used to play lately.
Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of crazy.
Nostalgia, man. It hits weird, right?
Yeah. But way out there and bum nowhere, you know what I mean? Like CNR Center.
I cut them out anyway. It's okay.
The CNR Center was out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it really was. And we all showed up anyway.
But I liked the venue. It had an awesome fireplace in the background.
Yeah.
You know.
Like I said, I spent most time playing video games in the back of the van. So, I mean, like I was there, but I wasn't really there, you know? I do have some pictures of that. I think I posted one not too long ago of me playing drums there at the CNR Center.
Was it Hartley or CNR Center?
No, it was CNR.
Was it?
It wasn't Hartley for sure. Yeah, because, well, I can't say why. So, so something else on the list is, does Justus have any questions for Josh?
You know, I'm just glad that you was able to keep the band moving, you know?
Yeah. You know me, I'm not one to sit still. I don't like...
And I get that, you know what I mean? You know, like I said, I do want to start getting into it more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And you're welcome to. Absolutely.
You know, like we talked about with everything that's going on, just trying to take it slow for now. Kind of ease my way back in, I guess. And, try to take care of what I got to take care of. And, man, you've come a long way, man.
Thank you.
I like I said, I always give you your props. Recording, whatever. I mean, you've been doing the channels all on your own, and you know, you're definitely doing your thing, man. Like, I'm proud of you. If nobody else says it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
You know,
I've had some help along the way. Crystal's helped out a lot with the video stuff, and I picked up some really, really cool mentors, and they've just been like really great people to me.
Right.
I always tell them that I'm never going to be at a point to where like I feel like I can do this on my own.
Right.
You know, I'm always going to need a producer, but they got me just that much further. You know, like without them, I would not have understood a single thing I'm doing right now.
And it's good to have people, you know, be honest with you like that. You know what I mean? But that's willing to work with you. You know, I mean. Yeah,
and I mean, like I've always heard, you know, like as rough as somebody is going to be with you, your best friend's going to be the one that's going to be the most honest, even if it's harsh. Right. Yep. And that they have really, you know, done that for me. You know, I do make a lot of mistakes, and they definitely point out a lot of those mistakes. But it's not from a place of being mean. Right. It's a place of care. I honestly believe that they care that I'm going to put out something that I can be proud of. Yeah. Then, you know, and that's learn how to do it the proper way. They are, you know, what helps run this. Right. So, but like I said, you know, I definitely want to get back into doing more, even if it's just helping with the channels or whatever, you know. Oh, I could put you to work. We got some editing. We got a shit ton of editing, dude. A shit ton of editing. You know, not just the whole music thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean that's because that Recall the Moment is not just music. Exactly. You know, we are almost like a news center. Right. You know what I mean? Like, we are the collective of all these bands, you know? We're not just promoting ourselves. Right. We keep, and I think we talked about it a little bit before, is like bands expect a certain etiquette from us. They tell us things that they don't want to tell other people. We have to share that with no one. We have to keep that respect, you know what I mean? And professionalism. And that actually leads into one of the next things that I had written down is the possibility of new memberships. Right. Do you think it's a decent or fair idea? Is it something we should consider? Is it something that's crossed your mind to become a full-fledged band? For me personally, you know,
I used to love playing shows.
Yeah.
So as far as having a full band, that would be the main reason. But in the past, we've had issues with finding members.
Yeah. I feel like that's going to be harder now than...
That's been the biggest thing. God, we went through a mess of singers.
Yeah.
It's just finding people that work well together. You know what I mean?
You can mesh with. Yep.
Like me and you have always had that chemistry where...
Yeah, you send me a track, I know where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just when you're constantly butting heads with other people, it just, it takes time.
It does.
As you know. Sometimes it just causes a lot of tension. When it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, this is supposed to be like a hobby, like something you enjoy doing on the side. You know what I mean? And like if you're with people that you're not really feeling it with, then it's your job. Then
it's work. Yeah.
And
so when like back in the day, man, we was writing all kinds of songs left and right. And just, we just knew where they were going. But in the past here, we've had some issues,
Right.
Just button heads, I guess.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah.
We're still good with all the people. We just don't work well together, Uncle Josh is an asshole. I'm not. I promise I'm not.
I mean, as far as finding other members, it's got to feel right.
It does have to feel right.
It's got to feel right.
If there were a member you would like to find, what instrument would you want them to play?
Well, definitely bass.
I feel like you've got the guitar kind of taken care of.
But I don't know how you feel because you play guitar too.
It doesn't affect drums. Me in one way, shape, or form. I mean, I'm anywhere I need to be.
Yeah. And that's why I like.
Most people recognize me as the vocalist. So, I mean, like, as long as I've got that title, I'll be all right.
Maybe a drummer and a bass player.
Yeah.
I feel.
I wouldn't mind finding... I don't rightfully, honestly care what instrument they're on. It's more of like, can they do the extra side stuff that we do? It's like, because like we said, we're not just the music in this band. You know, we have other things that we do as well. We cater to other bands. We react to other music. We talk with musicians and like things that I look at as a requirement almost is like, can you edit video?
Right.
You know what I mean? How's your camera presence? Are you stage fright on camera?
But you don't see a lot of people doing that though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's where it becomes difficult to find a member.
Yeah.
Is because like and the most important one is the keeping things to yourself thing.
Yeah.
It's very hard to find people that you honestly trust.
Right.
And to find somebody that's like, look, we talk to a lot of bands. People tell us a lot of things. There's a lot of stuff that we don't have the liberty to talk about and discuss. We need to know that anyone coming into this band understands that.
Right.
And that they're not going to take advantage of information they hear from one band or another, or
use it against them.
Use it against them, or use it to, get themselves a little propped up higher, or it doesn't take anything to be like, hey, dude, like, I know you slipped on saying that one thing, but I could really use this show.
Right.
I'd like to be on this ticket. So if you don't want your stuff getting out there, then maybe pop me on there. That's a reality.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
Yeah.
So finding somebody in that realm, to me, is going to be the most difficult because, one, I have to trust you.
Right.
And two, the bands have to trust you.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very difficult to find somebody that's like, like, I'm okay with that person.
I'll be honest with you. When we went through a couple members, like it just me and you felt like like it was right that way. Then bringing somebody else in just kind of messed up the vibe.
It did throw a wrench a little bit, But it is nice to have a little bit of help around here.
But not saying everybody's that way either.
Right.
It's just finding the right people, I guess. So to me, I'm open to it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely open. And it all depends on which direction we want to go too, you know?
Right.
mean, do we want to play live shows?
Personally, I don't think I can.
Yeah. I mean, we had like
Fridays and Saturdays are always busy.
And with me right now, my
Right.
situation, you know, curfew,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you know, I mean,
There's nothing to be embarrassed about by it, man. I mean, like, look, we all know the situation. you know?
maybe in the future,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But for right now, you know, just take it slow. And
I did a song with Ant Mass. Very great producer.
that's the one we heard in the van that day, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And I guess like it boils down to like, you know, like, are you okay with me like making the decisions of what gets released currently?
I've always trusted your opinion.
Okay.
So, you know, there's no problem there.
Very good. Awesome.
Like I said, I'm proud of you with what you've been doing, and you know your stuff, man. Like,
I'm trying to. It's more like fake it till you make it almost sometimes. You know, because like we've had this conversation with several other bands that like the camera work. I have no idea what I'm doing with the camera. I'm just doing stuff,
Right.
hoping it works. You know,
mean, that's how you learn, though. You know?
yeah. Fake it till you make it, bro. So we do have that new song coming out. It's called "Not My Problem." It's a very short song. It's meant to be like a little bit of an earworm song. Very repetitive, something to throw on
Right.
TikTok and get people talking about or listening to.
Yeah.
But it was produced very well. I'm very happy with how it came out.
I think I heard a couple different versions of it, actually.
Yeah, you probably did. Yeah, we did go through a couple of different ones. And, you know, you got to make decisions. And when you're working with a producer, you know, they have a say in stuff too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what I start with may not be what the end result is. And then we end up with like a whole bunch of different ones. And then it's really like, which one is going to be the song?
Yeah,
you know, which one are we happy with?
Yeah.
You know? So it's going to get released. I think it's October 27th. Let me check that before I go spitting off. Yes, September 27th. Not My Problem on the Recall the Moment channel. Probably going to be some TikToks and Facebooks and stuff like that. Definitely check it out. Definitely watch the video. Like, share, subscribe. Okay, we need that. Like, share, subscribe.
Yes.
So
that comes out in 5 days, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Video and song both
Okay.
out on the channel.
Okay.
And should be on Pandora and stuff. And we had to switch over from 1RPM. We are now on DistroKid.
On distro. Okay.
Yes. Which I guess is going to be a common problem for a lot of people. 1RPM used to be free to post. It is not now, which is fine. I mean, like, if it was just a charge or something like that, I would have been fine with it anyway.
Right.
But they did change the rules rather abruptly and didn't tell anybody about
Right.
it. So now you have to be invited to work with 1RPM for them to release your music.
From another band or musician, artist?
No, they themselves, 1RPM, will send you an invitation.
Oh, okay.
And if you don't get that invitation, then you don't release music on their site anymore.
Right.
We did not get an invitation. So I switched everything over to DistroKid.
Right.
So
that's their fault.
Yeah. so
plus,
that's
you said
where,
something about like the song had to have a certain amount of likes or something.
Yeah, they had requirements. I don't remember them offhand. Like what requirements they were. I assume they're doing it because Spotify changed their rules.
Oh, okay.
Spotify used to allow everybody to get paid. Even if it was just pennies, everyone got paid.
Right.
Well, they changed their rules recently and said that you have to meet a certain threshold before you get paid. So I assume 1RPM is following that suit.
Right.
And doing the same requirements as Spotify so that everyone's on the same page, which is fine. It was just like very last minute, very abrupt.
Yeah.
I didn't get an email for it. I was posting one of the songs, and that's when they told me.
Yeah.
And that was just like, to me, it was like very disrespectful. At least have the courtesy to send me an email. You know, so
they should have sent it to everybody, honestly. I mean,
Well, and talking with a couple of the other bands that I know that are using 1 RPM, I was like, hey, go check, see if you can upload a song right now.
Yeah.
And they couldn't. So I assume they're going to be, just using higher up bands.
Right.
And
right.
those higher up bands will get invitations to work with 1 RPM. And I did not get an invitation for either of my accounts. So it is what it is. We're moving on to DistroKid. Subscription is paid for. And we're going to keep it moving. Like, that's something else. Like, talking about new members and stuff. It's like,
Right.
you have to share those things with these people. Anyone that you're working with, you have to make sure that they are going to do the job. They're going to
Right.
be responsible with the accounts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a big responsibility, and especially when you're talking to bands once a month, faithfully talking to bands. I need to know they can edit.
Right,
I need to know
right.
that they can, not talk about that band's personal stuff outside of that conversation. Keep it with themselves. And
Right.
and like I hate to be like that guy as like, secrets make for bad people, and you shouldn't keep secrets. But I mean, like, you should. Like,
Yeah.
honest to God, in this field, it's not your business to talk about. Don't talk about it. Don't say it. It doesn't matter what your opinion is on the matter. You're there as a neutral person to just listen to whatever they're saying.
Right.
And we need to know that we can keep that way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to be somebody else's downfall either. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I mean, you and I have known each other for so long, like, that if you tell me something, it's in confidence. And vice versa, like, I know that I can talk to you.
Right.
Adding someone new to that, are we going to be able to
Trust
feel
that
that same
person.
way?
Yeah.
Are the bands coming in here gonna feel some type of way about that person?
Right.
Because if they feel sketchy and they don't want to honestly talk to me, then what are we doing here?
Yeah.
So there's a lot to consider with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, well, do you have any final words before we go ahead and cut it off?
Nah, I'm just glad to be back.
Me too, man. I missed you, buddy.
I wanna be here for a long time. I mean, like I said, I'm just definitely trying to work on myself.
Yeah.
Work on everything I have to take care of. I'm trying to take care of and
absolutely.
Move
I'll
forward.
be there every step of the way. Anything you need.
I love you, man.
Love you
My
too,
brother,
dude. I love you too.
But yeah, I'm just glad to be back, man.
All right, and with that, we do this podcast once a month with anybody that we can talk to, and we release music every now and then. So until then, peace and love, y'all.